All right, we're recording. It's live.
Michael!
We didn't bet each other, but the wedding made it so. Now we're stuck together with nowhere else to go. This is Legally Friends, we're in-laws, spill the family tea. Legally friends, you're related to us. Legally.
Oh,
I think,
welcome.
Amy, you've got to do the intro for this one.
Okay, ready?
Yep. Give it to us.
Welcome back to Legally Friends. We are your hosts, Amy and Zach, and we are so graciously joined by the one, the only Michael Skalla.
Graciously joined.
Yes.
Blessing us with his presence.
You truly are blessing us with your presence, Michael. How does that feel?
I need full disclosure. I'm here against my will. So
Whatever.
if I blink 3 times or Morse code or something, send help. Somebody rescue me.
Whatever. Don't act like you don't love it.
This is weird. I can hear you guys, but I can't hear myself talk, so I don't know what I'm saying.
Well, this is the full, unfiltered, unedited version.
Michael,
so
just
be careful.
Just put one headphone back like that so you can hear yourself.
Put it in the back. Oh yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little better.
A little uncomfortable, though.
All right. Good to be here with Legally Friends.
And we're going to jump right into a couple questions, though, for you.
No.
And then we'll get more about Michael, about the man who raised the Skalla sisters.
What a legend.
Don't blame me.
We blame you, Michael.
And I'm going to say the most patient man on the face of the earth is Mike Skalla. So first question, though. Who was the hardest daughter to raise?
I've got to go with Amy. We're still raising Amy.
Michael! That is
That's funny.
so rude. You're saying I was harder to raise than Emily?
The other daughters, well, you're never done, but you're somewhat done when they get married. So Rachel, 19. Really?
Yeah, that's crazy.
We
That
let her
is-
get married or let Drew marry her at 19. Emily was, how old, 20 or 21?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Megan,
Was
how
what,
old was Megan?
20,
4?
23?
23.
Yeah.
And Amy, still keeping a close eye on her mother and me.
Womp womp.
Yep. So that's so you're saying Amy's the toughest because she's still being raised. She's still in the
Yeah.
house.
Probably the most stubborn, too. I
For
think
sure.
you guys talked
Oh,
about
true.
that the other day.
Yeah.
So true.
That
I would
picture
agree.
of you with your arms folded, the defiant look, the dance picture, and Megan's just bright and beaming, smiling, and you're saying, "Get me out of here! I'm not doing it."
Yeah, that
says it all.
perfectly depicts our
That-
personalities.
That was how Amy was the whole time. Like as soon as she came out, that was Amy, and all the way till now. Is that kind of how it was raising Amy?
Yeah, kind of her personality. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, at times, but
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, other times she's charming.
And this is
Oh, thank you.
no, Amy's definitely the funniest for sure.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Next question is kind of tough. You can plead the
Uh-oh.
fifth on some of these.
I may, to protect the innocents, me.
Who spent the most money growing up?
Amy.
That makes sense. Youngest
Uh-oh.
child. Youngest child.
Yeah.
I would agree. I think I was the most spoiled in my family too, and I was the youngest. So
I mean,
can see
I think it's natural. Youngest, the youngest or the younger, we were very strict with Emily, tried to be with Rachel, but less so. And then Megan and Amy, the babies, we called them all growing up, the babies, they should have been twins.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't know if we were worn out, worn down.
Or you just didn't
Or-
care. You're like, yeah,
Oh,
whatever.
oh no, we cared, but we weren't nearly as uptight
Yeah.
about things, like
I mean,
it's not the end of the world.
What were Megan and Amy typically asking for? Like, because I know,
Asking?
yeah, what
Yeah,
were like
that's
What are they
Okay.
typically
Word.
wanting?
What's the statute of limitations on check forgery? Do we know? Is it 8 years?
Yeah.
If it's 10 years, there may still be a problem, but if it's 8, maybe you're okay. But Amy,
Michael, you're spilling all my secrets.
This is great. This is great.
oh, and I would catch her or find out, and that's probably where my blood pressure issues started.
So, okay,
Yeah,
so
tell me how this happened.
so let's go back a little bit.
Oh.
So I had like a debit card, and sometimes I would run out of money, and I'd be like, "Oh, what the heck? I need money." And a lot of times Shannon wasn't home because she was either like driving Megan to dance or she was like off busy, and I'm like rummaging around their house trying to find money, and I stumble upon a gold mine, and it was Michael's checkbook.
So you would forge your mother's
And-
signature. You'd put SS.
Yeah, because
Never mind.
I don't know. I never learned how to write in cursive. So like I don't know how to do like a legit signature. But Shannon, when she does her signature, it's literally just like 2 big S's. And so I was like, okay, it's just gonna be a one-time thing. Like,
Easily forged.
yeah. So I wrote
Yeah,
myself a check.
one-time thing.
And then Michael gets the checkbook and he's like, you know how you like go through and you can
The
see
statement. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're reconciling every month.
Well,
Yes.
no, this was before the pictures. This was when you would go back into the checkbook and you
Oh,
would
yeah, the
see what
duplicate.
was written before.
Carbon
And he
copy. I
was
love carbon copy.
he was like, who he was like, Shannon, did you write Amy $100 check? Like, why? Like, it's so dumb. Why are you writing her $100 checks?
That's back
So-
when $100 was a lot of money.
Seriously.
So then I figured out, okay, if I use a pen, it's going to show up on the checkbook. So then I started using a marker because it wouldn't show up underneath, but then it would show up in the pictures. You know how they send pictures to like your email or whatever? Yeah.
Wow.
Those were good times. That was like my senior year of high school. And it was just like $50 here. Oh, I have to go to In-N-Out, $20 there. Like, you guys, that's evil. Like, that is so
That is
horrible.
wild. And once again, this is why he's the most patient man, I feel like.
Yes. Moving on.
Yes, next one.
question.
But to be clear, I was not writing myself like thousands of dollars worth of
Yeah.
checks. To be
No.
clear.
In
Thank
aggregate,
you.
bro, you know, it was adding up quickly with those $50
I mean,
here, $100 there.
Yeah, it all adds up, but like we're not doing math here.
But I think this answers my next question because it was going to be who knew how to work you the best?
Man, do we go 3 for 3 on Amy?
It might be.
I don't know. All of them had their moments.
But
And
I mean-
when it comes right down to it, you know, I like to act tough and talk tough, but I'm a wimp
Yeah, he's
when it
like
comes to my daughters.
yeah. If any of us ever need anything, he is the first one. For example, Isla calls me like 37 times and she's like, Mames, I am
This is this week,
Yeah, this was like on Monday or Tuesday.
Tuesday.
And she was like, I am starving. My mom's not answering. Please let me DoorDash. And okay, also a little backstory. I had my DoorDash privileges removed because
Yes, you did.
yeah,
we
you
were-
deserve that.
yeah, I was going a little crazy on DoorDash. So I told Isla, I was like, Isla, I had my DoorDash privileges removed. So you need to call Papa. So she calls Papa and I get a text. You're allowed to DoorDash Isla Rose food.
Yeah.
So yeah, the granddaughters are even
So now he's
The
been
bigger
worked by the granddaughters.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it, but I don't know. I think he's pretty relaxed for anybody that asks for help. It doesn't have to be just the daughters. It could be anybody. I feel like I've seen him do it with neighbors or whoever. Mike's usually pretty easygoing and pretty nice to everybody.
He is the most generous person
That I would have to
in the
agree.
world.
I'm under doctor's orders now.
Yeah.
To not get my blood pressure up, or Shannon orders too.
Yeah, which is the doctor of the Skalla
Yes,
household.
yeah, Dr.
Yeah,
Shannon. She's
Dr.
the best
Shannon.
doctor in the family.
It's
That's
true.
for
She,
sure.
she really comes in through with those diagnoses.
Yes. Well, those are my hard-hitting questions to start. There's going to be more of them, but let's get to more about you. Where did you grow up, and what were you like before the the girls came around?
So I grew up in a boy family. I've got 3 brothers, so 4 boys, and then younger sister, who was the youngest, and Carol, and she picked on her older brothers all growing up. But yeah, so 4 boys, and yeah, it was a boy house, man. I lived mostly in Sheridan, Wyoming, Bighorn Mountains, northern Wyoming, right on the Montana border, till I was 11. We moved to the big city, Omaha, Nebraska, when I was 11. And so, quick story there, I was ready to be the big man on campus, Linden Elementary School in Sheridan, Wyoming, 6th grader. We were going to rule the school. And then that summer, we moved to Omaha, and we got there in August. Lo and behold, 6th graders went to junior high or middle school. It was 6th through 9th. So I'm the little kid in a huge middle school, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th grades. And tell you what, to this day, I'm still scared to death of 9th graders. They were frightening, scary to a little Wyoming kid. But survived 9th grade, or survived 6th grade, and went through. So yeah, I went to junior high and high school in Omaha. Great place to grow up. Best thing about Omaha, you got 1 week of good weather in the spring, 1 week of good weather in the fall. But Nebraska football, all of that, just a great place to grow up. We had a great house that backed onto a big, huge linear drainage type park. And man, we built dams. We explored the tunnels, storm drain tunnels.
Didn't like you or
and,
your friends like almost die in one of the tunnels? Like you guys almost drown or something?
Yeah, we had torches and we went way back in the tunnels, and we're still not sure if I don't think it rained, but somehow a bunch of water got discharged. And as you go way back, the tunnels get narrower and narrower, and pretty soon you're crawling, and all of a sudden this water starts roaring in, and so we had to mad dash back out of the storm drain tunnels, and it got a little bit exciting, or probably dangerous, but
So you're in 6th grade. Imagine like Cannon, Minty, and Lucas doing that. Like that is so frightening to me.
yeah, this was
Like
probably
you're
a little
so
later.
little.
Yeah, I was probably 14, 15.
Okay, well that's
no,
Capri.
I was 15, because I remember the day that it happened. It was when
Oh yeah. You have to tell that story.
when my dad was baptized into the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
And what did your friend say?
We were back in the tunnel and trying to get out, and this water keeps raising and raising, and our torches had gone out or been extinguished, and it was my friend Steve, and all my friends called my dad Pappy Skalla. Said I know we're not going to die. We can't die. It's Pappy Skalla's getting baptized today, and so we made it out, and lots of scrapes and bruises. My younger brother had blood running down his head where he smacked, running out of the tunnel, smacked into the walls. But anyway, that's the short version of that story. We made it out, and I don't think I went back in after that. It was
Well, yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's
kind of
crazy.
freaky. But yeah, we had a great time. My parents were kind of the definition of free range parenting. And
Well, you were allowed to be back in those days. You can't do that
Yeah.
these days.
So you just let loose. You
yeah,
guys
our
kinda-
house was the hangout house where everybody congregated, and we had some we had Friday night boxing matches. We'd go break into the church and play basketball, sometimes all night. And anyway, we had a great childhood. Best day of our lives was when our mother was called to be the Relief Society president over a large ward. So she's in charge, responsible for all of the women, kind of almost equivalent to a bishop in the congregation. And so the ward boundaries were all the way from the Missouri River, downtown Omaha, all the way out to the west suburbs where we lived. And so she was always delivering meals or helping somebody at the hospital or whatever. So the minute she was called, we knew what that meant. There would be a lot less adult supervision around the house. And we took full advantage. We worked. We had paper routes growing up. And then we started lawn businesses. One time a friend and we'd hire our younger brothers. We were cutting probably 30 to 35 lawns per week. We do aeration. We didn't do fertilizer or anything like that, but lawn cutting, and that's what financed college and mission and
That's awesome.
things like that. So yeah, great place to
That's really cool.
grow up. I took 3 granddaughters back to Omaha a month ago for
Oh,
a
that's right.
dance convention. So Capri, Isla Rose, and London. And they had some time Saturday afternoon, and so I took them on the mandatory tour of Omaha.
Yes.
Saw the
Did
house.
you show him your old stomping grounds?
Saw the house where I grew up, the park. We got out behind our house that I grew up in, and they played in the park for a while. Drove past my old high school, Burke High School in Omaha.
That's really cool.
Saw all of the sites. Warren Buffett's home that he's owned since the 50s.
That's
In Omaha.
crazy.
That is pretty wild.
The Oracle of Omaha.
Is that really what they call it, or is that what you call it?
No, that's what they call Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
The Oracle
Oh.
of Omaha.
Oh, okay.
Probably the greatest, most successful investor of all time.
Did you ever see him around town, around the city?
I didn't, but my dad did, and Shannon's father. Shannon's dad talk about riding up the elevator with Warren Buffett at Kiewit Plaza.
That's so
And
cool.
his offices were in the Kiewit Plaza, and then the Berkshire offices were right across the street. But he and the CEO of Kiewit, Walter Scott Jr., and Peter Kiewit Jr., when he was alive, they were all very, very tight, very good friends, and kind of built Omaha, invested a lot into the community. And so
You want to know
Yeah.
it's a
something
great,
crazy?
great city.
That's
What?
cool.
Speaking of Kiewit, I remember back in like the day when I was like 20 in my prime.
Back in the day.
I was talking to this guy who was a construction major at BYU,
Uh-huh.
and he was like, "What does your dad do?" Whatever. So I was like explaining to him what you and Papa and other Papa do, and I was like, "Yeah, both my grandparents, they used to work for Kiewit. Have you heard of Kiewit?" And he was like, "No, I've never heard of Kiewit." And it like genuinely blew my mind that he had never heard of Kiewit. I'm like, "How are you a construction major and you've never heard of Kiewit?"
There was
And
no
then I
second date.
realized, and then I realized that like I feel like Kiewit was like almost like a third like parent or like a third grandparent in our family. Like it was always talked about.
Yeah, a lot of influence. I worked
Yeah.
for Kiewit for 13, 14 years during college and after.
Well, and that's how you and
For-
Shannon met, was because
Yeah.
both your
Nope.
parents worked for Kiewit,
Well, neither of our fathers
but they knew
helped
each
us.
other.
They knew each other. I had to meet Shannon on my own.
Yeah, let's hear about that.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So the quick story is I had returned from my mission in Orange County, Anaheim, California mission, Spanish speaking. I got home right before Christmas of that year. I won't tell you what year. That will definitely date me. But wasn't ready to jump back into BYU, a week later or 10 days later. And so I stayed in Omaha for a semester, went to University of Nebraska, the Omaha campus. And Shannon's family had moved to Omaha from Chicago. A big project that LD was on outside of Chicago ended. So they moved to Omaha the day after Shannon graduated from high school. And so this is 7 or 8 months later, I get home but even fast forward about 3 months, this would have been in March of this year. And it's a Saturday morning, I'm minding my own business, and my friend Donnie calls me on the phone, the home phone, and say, "Hey, Mike, there's a there's a YSA dance across the river in Council Bluffs, Iowa tonight. We're going. I said, Donnie, we're not going to a YSA dance in Iowa.
Sounds
We're
like
not
Amy.
going. Yeah.
That's where I get it from.
Yeah. But
you went.
He kept working on me, and finally I said, all right, fine, we'll go. And, it was fine. But right towards the end of the dance, like during the last song, here comes Donnie with this girl and comes over and big mistake, Donnie. He introduces us and said, hey, you guys have something in common. He had made the connection, he and Shannon. I think he got introduced and they danced, I think one dance or something, and came over and introduced us. And we made that connection that our fathers had worked together. But I wasn't the brightest guy. I didn't.
You're shy. You're a little shy guy.
Yeah. I'm scared of girls still to this day. Oh. But didn't get her number, and I couldn't. I think, and Mom still gets mad at me, but I think I called her Lisa or something. I couldn't remember her name. But
that was on purpose. You're just playing the game.
Yeah, that's right. So the next day, I'm at work, and I call my younger brother, Pete, and said, Pete, I met this girl last night. Her dad works for Kiewit. He's in the underground, the tunnels district, but I can't remember her last name. And so Kiewit had this company magazine that came out once a month or once a quarter called the Keyways magazine. Keyway is a construction term. And so Pete is rifling through these magazines, looking at the underground district, trying to find this name. And then all of a sudden my dad walks in from work. In those days, Kiewit worked half a day Saturday. And the philosophy was, while our competitors are on the golf course or on the lake, we're working half a day. And that was just the culture. And that's what I did as well. But so my dad walks in and sees all these company magazines spread about, and said, Pete, what in the world are you doing? And Pete said, well, Mike met this girl whose dad works for Kiewit, can't remember her name, wants to get a hold of her, and works in the underground division. Met her at this YSA dance. And my dad goes, oh, yeah, that's old LD. I've known him for years. He's a great guy. There's not very many members of the church with Kiewit. They were, they would be drinking their 7-Up drinks at a corporate function or company Christmas party when they were, back in those days. So, they had known each other, but we had to meet on our own through my friend Donnie. And so Donnie, to this day, I got the girl. Donnie is still mad at me to this day.
We love that. Thanks,
that's
Donnie.
That's the story.
That's awesome. So then
what else you got?
Well, first question. How long was it from when you met and got married? Because you've had some daughters go through some quick engagements and marriages.
Quick turnarounds here.
We were both engaged one time. That's it. There was no calling it off.
Nice.
And it was quick?
No second start. We met, I think it was about mid-March. Mm-hmm. And dated that spring and summer. And then we both went out to BYU that fall. I'll tell you the year. It was 1984. That was a great year to be at BYU and to be a football fan. That's the national championship year. That still upsets you Utah fans. You say, oh, it's a mythical national championship. But hey, we're going to count it.
He's still holding on to that.
Even though it was a few years. Yep, holding on. And so we dated that fall, got engaged in January, got married July 30th, 1985. So it
was like a year and a half altogether?
Yeah, a little less than a year and a half, like, I don't know, 16 months from the time we met till the time we got married.
Up. You taught me that. Round up.
Year and a half, yeah.
Unless you're shopping and spending money, then you always round down.
Yes, you always round significantly down.
Yeah.
Significantly.
So you get married, you start having all of these girls. You come from an all-boy family.
Mostly boys,
except Carol. So one sister. Um,
And I'm the second.
You're the
Of
second.
four boys, second of 5 kids.
So what was your, I mean, because a lot of people ask, what was it like raising 4 daughters? What was, and what was your parenting style? Because even I wonder that, you know, people are still trying to figure out how to raise their kids, want them to be successful. And obviously you've had 4 successful daughters. How did you do it? What was your approach?
It's all a blur. A blur. No, I've read somewhere that somebody wrote, before I had kids, I had 4 theories of raising kids. Now I've got 4 daughters and no theories. So I don't know if I could, I don't think I could narrow it down succinctly. They're all different.
Yeah.
You have to kind of adapt, and I don't know, maybe someone would say, well, you can't treat them differently, but in some ways you have to, respond a little bit differently. And, some respond to the, the tough love, or the, grumpy Michael, tough Michael, and others, will burst into tears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Megan,
Michael.
Megan, definitely Megan.
Can I tell you what
Go ahead.
I think a little bit? And Michael, tell me if this is wrong. I feel like a lot of times you guys always were like, nothing else matters except for your family. And maybe that was more Shannon.
well,
but
family is at the top, more important than friends.
Yes.
And, I worked hard. So, I almost missed Megan's birth. I was up in Idaho on a business trip, and we had just arrived, and then I had to catch a flight right back, and got there just like 2 minutes to spare before Megan was born. But family is what it's all about. You've got to protect the family and have those relationships.
I feel like that's how like your parents and mom's parents were too. It was all about family, and you do anything for your family, and there's really not a whole lot your family can do to like cross the line, or I don't know. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, lots of lines get crossed these days,
All the
or,
time.
Yeah,
or even growing up, but which is not how it was, in my family. We didn't fight and argue. I mean, we battled as brothers naturally do, but we didn't talk about our feelings. The girls always said, oh, you got to talk about your feelings. So, with my younger brother, Bart, still to this day, a lot of times when we see each other, haven't been around each other for a while, I'll say, Bart, how are your feelings? Oh, they're fine. Mike, how are your feelings? Oh, yep, I'm good. And then, so we get that over and we move
Michael,
on.
should we
Probably.
Should we do our wellness check
Oh.
that I make you do?
All right,
Oh,
do your
no.
wellness
Okay,
check.
this is mine and Michael's wellness check. I do it a couple times a week with him. Okay. Michael, how are you?
Fine.
How are you mentally?
Good.
How are you physically?
Good.
How are you
it's basketball.
emotionally?
It's basketball night in America night tonight, and Cannon has a game. So
So you're great.
physically, I'm doing great. And I got a workout in last night during the Utah Mammoth hockey game. So
You guys, his
I'm all good.
workout.
I need to hear about this.
So I'm sitting there rhinestoning.
my
'cause
keychain, and I had to hide my computer, my laptop, so that
I
didn't get
rhinestoned Michael's Raptor
bedazzled.
key.
Oh,
Luckily,
no.
it was just a spare. I'm gonna hide your normal key so that you have to take the rhinestone key one day. Anyway, so I'm sitting there rhinestoning, and all of a sudden, I see Michael like walk past. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's holding like 30-pound weights in each hand.
35-pounders, dumbbells.
Sorry,
in my
35
defense.
pounders.
Yeah, don't go
So-
lower.
So in Shannon's house, there's one basement staircase, but there's 2 staircases to the upper level. So he would walk up the basement stairs, and then he would walk up the upstairs, and then he'd walk across the upstairs and walk down the other side of stairs. And he
a good
did
little
that
workout.
probably like 5 times as I'm sitting there watching Scandal Rhinestoning, and I was like, what are you doing? And then he'd go back in the basement, and he was watching the hockey game on like our movie theater screen, and all of a sudden I would hear him be like, no, and I went running down there because I thought like, so I was like, Michael, don't give yourself a heart attack, like you have to be careful.
Well,
So
I was yelling at the hockey game. Utah Mammoth had it won.
Yeah,
They're up a goal with under a minute to go. And
They blew it.
Vegas pulled their goalie, extra man. They scored a goal with like 50 seconds. Forced overtime. It went to double overtime. And then Vegas scored a shorthanded goal in the second overtime.
I don't know what any of this
Unbelievable.
means. But anyway, so I went running down because I was like, oh my gosh, like, did he hurt himself? Like, no, he was just watching the hockey game. And
I
then
mean-
I'd see him come back up the stairs and go up the stairs and make
I
his
know you
little
scared
round.
me when you went running
Yeah.
down.
Well, you scared me.
Oh,
I
That
threw
is-
my rhinestoning. I was like, Michael.
No, that is one thing. Sometimes I feel bad for Mike because he can't say one little thing. I feel like he says something doesn't feel right at all. Then he has 5 women surrounding him, freaking
Well,
out.
Zach.
Are you okay?
Should
Are you okay?
should we rehash why?
yeah, I've got a couple of stories to tell about Zach here. So that
no.
reminds me, we were down at Parcells, Rachel's in-laws, for Rachel's birthday, January
Yeah.
14th, 2024. We're watching the Rams and I think Detroit, great NFL game. And I wasn't feeling great, kind of a little bit of a headache and a little bit of nausea. And at
You were
one time,
lightheaded.
I think I kind of did something like that, and I leaned back, and Zach, it was you.
I know, it was me. I apologize.
You saw me and noticed something, and Mike, what's wrong? And then it was on.
No,
then
he
I've got
told
4
Megan,
or
he
5
was like,
girls storming
he was
me.
like, I think there's something wrong with your
Yeah.
dad. And Megan was like, what? And then we were all like,
I would not have said something usually, but I saw your face and I was like,
yeah, Michael, you were
Something's
as
wrong.
white as
you
a ghost.
sold me out.
no, that was the one time, but I think it was for good cause.
Yeah, because then me and Shannon that night on our way home, he was like, no, I'm fine. I feel fine. And we were like, no, we're taking you to the hospital.
No, I put Drew's brother, Tyler, he had an Apple Watch, and I put it on, ran the thing, and said, no.
EKG, yeah.
Yeah, EK, everything's fine. And then, kind of like this podcast, against my will, Shannon and Amy kidnapped me, stopped into the ER in Lehigh just on the way home, against my will. And we get there, and
And I will say, even the doctor kind of thought me and Shannon were crazy. He was like, he's probably not having a heart attack. Like, look at him. He's fine. He's cracking
Yeah.
jokes. He's laughing. He's not like, his arm's not in pain. Like, but then the longer they did is it an EKG or is it an
Yeah.
echo?
EKG. I don't know. I think
Well,
EKG
and
was
then-
on the watch, but
and that wasn't showing anything. I don't think
Yeah,
that they were drawing
Then they
blood
did like
and
the
doing
two, they did like the 2-hour test. What is that called?
It's the protein test. What's the protein called? That there's a protein marker that shows up in your blood that's indicative of a heart attack.
Yes.
That's such an it was a minor heart incident.
No, Michael, it was
The
a heart
doctors-
attack.
yeah.
You
And
guys
the
are so
doctor-
negative.
The doctor came in and he was like, you guys were right. He had a heart attack. And if,
So
like,
it went from
with-
like 6 to 12 to 50. At 50, they said, we got something going on. The next one was 500. And I don't remember from there. And they said, no, you're not going anywhere.
yeah. And so then the doctor came in and was like, I know, like, we both kind of thought these girls were crazy, but like, they just saved your life. And then all of a sudden I see Michael and he like had his cute little tears in his eyes. And I was like,
Well, Shannon, when we got there, Shannon kind of goes prancing into the
oh my
ER.
gosh. She does her like
saying,
little
chest
shuffle.
pains. We have chest pains, so they were ready to put her on a gurney.
Yeah.
I said, no,
Actually,
not
the
me, him.
funniest. That is
No.
the funniest part.
Her shuffle walking in. She's like, chest pains, holding her
So-
Chanel. And I was like, oh,
So, public service announcement: if you have a broken arm or I don't know, dislocated shoulder, and you want to go right to the front of the line in the ER, just chest pains. We have chest
Always-
pains. Boom,
Even
front of the line.
Shannon told me
That's so
this.
funny.
Even if you go to like the urgent care and like whatever, she's like, if you want to get seen quick and you're not sitting in that waiting room for hours, you say you can't breathe and your chest hurts, and they take you right back.
But I didn't have chest pains, though. But
Yeah.
Shannon
But
didn't
I
care.
might-
You had chest pains.
yeah, I might have waited there for 3 hours
Well,
had
you
she
know-
not done that. So,
Yeah, true. And
but
that was the one time I'll sell you out. That was
you sold me out.
and that was for
Okay.
the cause.
Here's another Zach story. It was like we had met Zach. This would have been early June of 2019. You and Megan had made the connection. I know you've told the story, but I'm going to tell the rest of the story. I don't know if you have
Yes.
any boomer podcast listeners, but Paul Harvey, great radio commentator, would always tell
I don't even know who that is.
the rest of the story. YouTube him. Love Paul Harvey.
Okay.
So the rest of the story, Megan and Zach had been dating for a couple of weeks. Well, so this was late June 26th, 2019. So it's my birthday. So I'm making Taylor and Drew go to basketball night in America. We've had this game going since 2006 at the State
So
Center.
crazy.
My friend Todd has a key to, I think, every gym in the county, so we always have a place to play. But so I said, Megan, you got to have Zach come play. Now, he's in between his junior and senior years of playing basketball at Brown. And his father, I hope the statute of limitations is over. I hope you never told your dad. But I said, you can't tell Coach and you can't tell Coach Martin back at Brown, but come play basketball tonight. And so Zach did. If he would have sprained an ankle,
Oof.
Coach would have shot me and probably you too. And
Yeah.
anyway, but it went fine. Zach,
I passed enough. I passed
Okay,
enough to
that-
get the job done.
you stole
That-
you stole my punchline.
Ah, no.
So it's me and Zach, Drew and Taylor, and they're both 6'5" people, and then my friend Todd, we played on the same team, and but anyway, so we played, had fun, had some good games, but after we left, I'm driving home, and this is like 11 o'clock, and Megan's at our house, and I called Megan. I said, Megan, you're in trouble. I said, I really like this Zach character. I said, first of all, I don't know if it's the Ivy League education or what it is, but he is a smart guy. He's, oh, really? Megan's saying, well, how do you know? Why do you say that? Well, he passed the ball to me all night. He was feeding me, and I don't think I had scored so many points in 15 years. So I said, this is a smart young man, so you don't screw it up, Megan.
Yes. I had no plans on scoring that night. My plan was to get you to like me so I could marry
worked.
Megan. But the funny thing
worked.
is, I did go home and tell my dad about it. I think it was that night.
Oh, no.
And then
Was he mad?
I'm
No,
shocked I didn't get a call from Coach.
I think I've told you this, but after I told him about it, I was like, yeah, I definitely passed the ball a lot that night because he asked me, like, did you score a lot? He always does. And I was like, no, I definitely passed it a lot, especially to Megan's dad. And he's like, you're such a kiss ass. I was like, got to do what you got to do.
And I told Megan, you're a very, very smart kid, bright kid, and then your dad's comment is
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah. But no, that was worth it. That was worth it. Good
So
times.
I started ratcheting down the credit card usage, and I don't remember if I told Megan that night, but in my mind, in my heart, I said, we're in trouble. Megan's going to marry this punk kid.
Yeah.
Oh,
Michael started
no.
pinching those pennies to.
Yeah.
He knew he was getting another wedding.
Had to throw a reception. Okay, second story. You guys told the story of the Draper dads. I hatched this plan a number of years ago to get us into the Draper City Rec basketball league so I could play ball with my son-in-laws. 2 were here. I think the first year it was Drew and Taylor. Zach, why'd you go? Oh, you went blurry for a minute.
Do you
Oh,
see?
you're
Oh,
back.
yeah, I'm still good. I can still hear you. You're good.
Okay.
It'll go blurry for a second, and then it's fine.
Okay. And then the second year, you guys had moved back after COVID shut down your senior year. And And so Megan and Zach both finished their college degree from our kitchen table.
Yes.
Back from Brown, and then Megan finished up her last couple of online courses at BYU from our kitchen table. But so that second year, I made Zach play. He had some knee issues, and I think got surgery partway through that year or right after. But we did well, and Zach would kind of, a lot of passing, not a lot of scoring. But there's one game in particular. There were these punk kids. I think you've told the story. They, for some reason, thought it was I don't know what they thought, but they started trash talking Zach specifically early in the game. And there might have been a few words exchanged and words with one of their mothers. And so Zach starts going off. But anyway, the bottom line, that night, Zach and I combined for 52 points in the game. And we won. Was it overtime?
Did
it go to overtime?
I think it might have
did.
Yeah.
And so it took all of that. But anyway, the real story is Zach scored 50. I scored 2. I got a layup. And guess who assisted on my layup? Zacharias.
Yes.
There you
Shannon
go.
calls him.
Yeah. I left that game a little worried, to be honest, because I had let a little too many words slip, and I was like, oh man, my father-in-law just heard all of that.
Are you kidding? Michael
Hey, we won the
loved
game.
it.
And I had to go over and check the scorebook after, which I never do, but I took a picture of it. I still got it. It's a little bit blurry, but Zach hit 10 2-pointers and 10 3-pointers. Not a single free throw. They couldn't catch up to him to even foul him, I guess, but 10 2s and 10 3s equals 50 points, and then I had my 2 points. I was 1 for 1
Slay,
that
Michael.
night. And Zach had 1 assist, so
Yes, I did.
congratulations.
Thank you.
And that's on teamwork.
And without Zach scoring 50 that night, and Drew and Taylor, they probably had, 8 or 10, something like that. But without Zach scoring 50, we would have lost to these punks, and then you really would have been in trouble.
I know. Yeah, that one, I'm glad that everyone had a good time listening, because I actually was really worried. I was like, I hope Mike's not mad at me or, thinking twice
Oh,
about
are you
me.
kidding? He loved it. That's like his favorite story.
I'm glad the ref didn't hear. He would have booted you.
Well,
And then we would have lost.
I know he heard it a couple times because he was just laughing. He
knew these punks deserved it. And these guys, they're, 30 years younger than me.
Yeah, they were young. They were like
Yeah, they were
fresh
like
out of high
20.
school.
Yeah. But mouthy, cocky.
Yeah.
So we humbled them.
Yeah.
Good
That was a
job.
good time.
That was fun.
So, I guess going back to the girls, raising the 4 daughters.
That's the gray hair. That's not work stress.
Were you pretty strict with like Emily and Rachel growing up? And did you you kind of mentioned you became softer, or was it kind of the same? Because you came from a more, as you mentioned, loose, like kind of did what you want a little bit in your house growing up, and your mom and your dad not did what you want, but they had the rules, but kind of give you more freedom. Or like I came from a very, very strict household. But how were you with the girls?
Yeah, that's a good question. There's no doubt we lightened up or loosened up a bit with the younger girls. So when I was growing up, we had rules, not really a curfew, but there was expectations. And my biggest fear was disappointing my parents. Wouldn't do it. Mm-hmm. And so, I knew where the line, and so kind of the philosophy that maybe evolved over a lot of time, as parents, you kind of put up this wall that, here's the line. You don't cross the line. But kids are going to push against that wall, and that's good. That's healthy. They need to push, and they need to push on boundaries and but know exactly where that wall's at. And as the parents, Shannon and I, knew we had, you have a united front, and you don't budge on that. You don't give a little and it moves off, out of control. But united front, you're together, and you expect them, you encourage them, you allow them to push, but you don't give in. And that wall maybe was a little bit softer when Megan and Amy, but still always very high expectation. What's my favorite saying?
100%.
100%.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And that never meant we expected them to get 100% on every test or to always be the winner in a dance competition or with Amy in soccer or volleyball, but give 100% effort and, do your best. Didn't matter what you were doing. If it was school, a test, sporting event, dance competition, just, do your best, do it right. Have a good attitude about it. Prepare, put the time in. The time to win a dance competition isn't during the competition. It's the year and years before that when, I'd drive Megan to up and over the mountain to Cedar Hills for a 6 a.m. Ballet private, three times a week. I don't remember when it was, sophomore year, junior year, something like that. Another little trick I learned, we're encouraged to do family scripture study, family prayer. We tried, we probably failed more than we succeeded, but you don't give up, you keep trying. And I don't know when we started this, but, early mornings I would have, and Shannon and I would have 30 to 40 minutes in our old house in Draper. There was a big kind of an open loft area where all of the bedrooms, the girls' bedrooms were at. And they had a great big full height mirror, and they would all sit there and get ready together, sharing makeup and sharing clothes, sometimes arguing over who got to wear what that day. But I knew I had about a 30 or 45 minute captive audience. And so, we'd get up early, we'd go up and just sit down in that loft and read scriptures, family prayer. And I think that was very meaningful. I don't know if they could quote a single passage of scripture we didn't memorize, but, we read, we spent time with the family.
That's one of my favorite memories from high school, especially when we would get to the boring chapters, like the hard ones that you always tell me to skip. What is it? Like the Isaiah chapters. I'd turn on the blow dryer.
Moses is fabulous. We just got through studying Moses and the let my people go, parting of the Red Sea in the Old Testament this year. But Isaiah is a little bit drier.
So when we would get to the Isaiah chapters, I'd turn on the blow dryer thinking he'd stop. No, he just got louder.
No, I was actually planning to bring up this and what you would do because I think that I remember hearing about that from Megan and I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, that is some patience.
I think that's mine and Megan's favorite memory.
I
would just talk over
the
blow dryer. They couldn't drown me out.
No, we could not.
And you just be persistent and you figure out what works for your family, and it's going to look different for almost every family, but that's what we figured, dinner time or late at night, especially when the older girls got into high school, that was chaos and everybody coming and going, all that never would have worked. So that's what we came up with, and it was good.
Yeah.
It was.
I
Good
mean,
job, Michael.
It stuck with them, so that's pretty cool.
Now on our Sunday family dinners, and usually I can get 3 minutes, maybe 4, to have just a quick lesson, a quick scripture or less, applying the scriptures to our lives and try to teach the grandsons, and I'm still hoping my daughters and son-in-laws listen in a little bit. Maybe it's something we learned at church that Sunday or through, study during the week, or Shannon will bring something up that maybe we learned in gospel doctrine Sunday school class or Relief Society that she learned. So we try to, always incorporate that a little bit without overdoing it. If you try to sit down, hey, we're going to have a 1-hour Sunday afternoon scripture study. That's, take the little bites that you can. on a road trip too, you can get a little bit of that in as well.
Oh, yeah. Michael loves to take over on a road trip. Because he's like, they can't go anywhere, they're trapped.
Captive audience, it's great. It's a great
so he'll go off, he'll give us like a little sermon, if you will, and then he'll play music. He'll either play like his gospel library music,
some good stuff.
And then he'll move
Christian
on to like
music is great stuff.
Then he'll move on to like his Michael's Running playlist, which has a plethora.
The most eclectic music collection ever assembled.
Yeah, no, it's
Amy helps me.
Like,
That's funny.
So Michael and I share Apple Music, and sometimes when I get in my car, I'll just hit shuffle, and like sometimes it's like One Direction and like Cardi B, and then the next song it's like some opera guy that's like Italian. I'm like,
Pavarotti.
What is this? And
Messendorma.
That's what he listens to when he works out and when he runs. I'm like, how
and then
do
the
you
Tabernacle
listen to
Choir
this?
will come on, and then Eminem right after that.
Yeah, no, it is like it's like all over the board.
I mean, that's why you got to have it though. You need to mix it up when you're running. You need to
variety.
Surprise yourself a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or then I would launch into U.S. history, Civil War, Revolutionary War, World War II. I love U.S. history, and so and my biggest disciplinary method or something on a road trip was museums. That hey girls, if you're not behaving yourself,
it's true.
There's a museum in this next town. We are going to stop and tour this museum. Maybe it was an old, I don't know, a pioneer museum or Indian artifact museum.
We need to carry this. We need to do this again on like a next family vacation.
they would straighten up. Zach, you haven't been on a road trip with me, but.
No, I like this museum idea. I think that'd be kind of funny to see all of them in the museum.
Yeah, try
I actually love museums now. Like I love going to Europe, and I love going to all of the museums and stopping and reading everything. And actually, my favorite is when we get a tour guide and they have the little microphone and headphones, and they just like tell you all about it.
No, I'm the tour guide.
Yeah.
That's
but
right.
when I was just in Europe, you weren't with me. And so we had a tour guide, and it is my favorite thing. And some people really don't like that, which is fine. Like Drew, he's not a big Europe fan. He'd rather go to the beach or like go to the pool. But Emily, Taylor, and I, when we were in Paris a couple years ago.
At the Louvre? Were you in the Louvre?
We were at the Louvre.
Okay.
We went to just like everywhere. We tried to go to Notre Dame, but they were still reconstructing it.
Yeah,
whatever.
it's rebuilt now. I've got to go back.
Let's go, Michael. Let's go.
I got to go to Normandy. We can just happen to swing by Paris for a day, but
yes.
got to go to Normandy. See
we
Omaha
have
Beach,
to.
Utah Beach.
We have to.
It'd be cool. Okay, so let's go to the daughters and when they started to date and get married.
Oh, I thought you were going to make me rank the daughters.
No.
Like you rank the sisters.
We should do that.
We can.
That's a great idea.
No,
I think that's going to
favorite.
cause some battles.
That's a bad idea.
Let's not do that. For the sake of a number of FaceTime calls tonight, let's skip the ranking.
Good idea.
So, did you care a lot about who they were dating? And
of course.
What were you looking for in the guys that they were bringing back to meet the family?
Oh, like during high school or after?
Let's do college after when they're actually starting to like really date seriously.
Oh, I don't know. I do remember. I don't think I have a specific memory of the first time we met Taylor. But Drew, I remember Rachel invited him to a BYU basketball game that we watched, and then we're walking out, and I remember this distinct, and I don't think I said it out loud right then, but I had this distinct impression that this punk thinks he's going to marry my daughter. And I had met him just that night. I knew nothing about him or his family, but that turned out to be great as we got to know Drew and his family and everything. And Drew and his father, who unfortunately passed away from cancer. How long ago? Two years ago.
Yeah.
But Drew's father, Walt, and I were very close. Walt is the one that, when I gave up one bad habit, which was golfing, Walt Parcell got me into another bad habit, running. And, we trained together, ran several marathons and half marathons together, the Utah Valley Marathon, St. George, and quite a few of them. Emily and I did the New York City Marathon. Emily somehow got me in on her coattails, but anyway, so what was your question? What was I looking for?
Yeah.
A gentleman, somebody that would treat my daughters right, treat them like gold. Somebody that had a plan for their future, that wasn't just in the basement playing video games and other worse things online. But, good family, strong in the restored gospel of Jesus Christ. That's very, very important. So any potential suitors, daters of Amy, make notes.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I will say, and all of the guys that I talked to or dated, you always kind of stayed on the outskirts. You were always cool, you're going out with this guy or whatever. There was only one guy that you ever were I don't think you should date him. And I don't ever think I asked you. Yeah. I don't ever think I even asked you why. But the second you said it, because Mom and Emily and Rachel and Megan were I don't think you should date him. And I was no, I really like him, pipe down type of thing. And then when you said something, I was oh, okay. And I cut it off immediately. And I just I never even looked back. And I think that's the only guy you ever were I don't think you should date him.
I mean, I do feel since your dad doesn't really get involved too much because there's already so many people with so many voices chitter-chattering.
I try to fly above the fray, above the drama. I'm a drama-free zone. So
yes. So then to have him come in and say no, that's probably a good advice to take.
Yeah.
Now, Zach, if you would have scored 50 points that first night on my birthday, basketball night in America, and it's just pickup games, instead of passing to me, red flag. I think you
red
guys
flag.
Do the red flag, green flag thing.
Yeah.
That would have been a red flag. I'm a John Stockton, huge fan. Stockton to Malone. And in fact, when Stockton announced his retirement, I think he's only a year older than me, but I had my girls convinced that the Jazz were going to call me to replace Stockton, despite my complete lack of talent. And then I think Amy especially would come home. Dad, did the Jazz call today? Did they call?
I know Megan really believed it too. She would tell me about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. We're just going to keep moving through the whole lives then. What happened when they started to get this social media following? I mean, I haven't actually talked to you or Shannon much about that. I feel like that would have been a weird thing to watch with your daughters getting that
Shannon
much attention.
Saw the vision immediately, or maybe not the full vision, but fully supportive. She would go out, she would take the pictures and help with the outfits, hit the credit card, buy the outfits, and supported her daughters, which she's always done, no matter what they were doing. And, I think Rachel kind of let out in that, and her friends in high school or beyond or maybe when she was first married, Rachel, she's out taking pictures and posting outfits on, which she's crazy, but, Shannon supported it. I was a bit of a professional photographer.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, Rachel, I think Rachel fired me many times.
Yeah, because you wouldn't get her shoes. You'd cut off the shoes.
Yeah, I always like to zoom in. And yeah, I'd miss the shoes, and that's part of the whole outfit. But yeah, I mean, you just try to support them. And I remember my younger brother, Pete, he's an NBA. What's the Arizona? Is that Thunderbird?
Yeah, Thunderbird.
School, MBA out of Arizona. I remember he was over one night, and this is very early on, and I think Rachel was there, and Emily was maybe just starting to do some things, and we had this long, in-depth conversation about monetization strategies of this very early social media thing, and just what Rachel especially was doing, and you know, I wish we would have had a video recorder going, or a phone going to record that. That was probably, what, 2010, 2012? I don't remember, somewhere way back in there.
That's cool. And so that was kind of like the real conversation that led to monetizing and the strategy for growing.
Yeah, and Rachel, I would say, really just jumped in, figured things out on her own. And, you know, our favorite story to tell is, I think it was Drew that said, Rachel, why don't you go get a job?
At Happy
need to
Sumo.
go see if Happy Sumo is hiring, or Nordstrom. I think you told the story here that Happy Sumo didn't hire, Nordstrom didn't hire her, and then a number of years later, she's got her own dress line, and Emily as well, being sold exclusively at Nordstrom. And but yeah, you try to support them in their dreams and whatever they're wanting to do. I'm trying really hard to support the Mames.
I was
Amy
just
in her
gonna
dream.
segue this. How do you feel about my dream with my horsiness?
I'm trying to be supportive. The horse is the cheap part. It's the diesel pickup and the horse trailer and the vet bills and the feed and the stable and all of that you can't.
This goes
afford.
on.
So this horse is probably unfortunately a Michael and Shannon and Amy joint venture.
Yes, I love our joint ventures, Michael. It's so much fun.
Well, we sold one of you and your mother's joint ventures yesterday. Had closing on the Lehigh home.
Yes.
Went to a great family who will enjoy that home for many years. But yeah, that joint venture cost me a lot of money.
Yeah. You win some, you lose some, Michael, right?
I mean,
true.
I will say, coming into the
Shannon's
family,
rolling her eyes.
yeah.
Yeah, what did you see from your perspective?
From my perspective in the family, I mean, I'm always shocked at just like how positive you all are. If someone has like something they want to do, I think I just have more of a negative perception. It's always looking for like, oh, why is this not going to work? You all are, all right, you want to do this, like, let's go make this happen. What do we need to do? What can we do to make this work together? I mean, for example, the podcast, like, I was a little embarrassed to do this at the beginning, you know, still have some thoughts.
He was like even scared to like ask me and Emily to do it. Like Megan had to call and be like, would you guys like want to do this?
Made Megan do your dirty work.
And we were like, yeah, why not? Let's do it. Like, who cares?
Well, I had talked to Emily before I had Megan do it. And I talked to you too, but it got to the point where we needed to actually do it. And I was like, you guys actually going to do this? And that's where I was a little more like, okay, Megan, maybe you step in and ask. But no, you guys are extremely, as far as Mike and Shannon, it's very like supportive. If you want to do it, if you have a passion for it, go make it happen. And I don't think there's a lot of people, I don't know. I feel like more people are more skeptical, especially trying to go do something that's like different. For example, Rachel doing social media. I feel like a lot of people would have had, like go get the job at Happy Sumo or Nordstrom and maybe do this on the side and see, we'll see if it works out. That would have been
the safe thing to do. But,
yeah, exactly.
Looking back in hindsight, no.
So I think that's cool. And I think also that's instilled a lot of confidence in them. Like that's also one thing from the outside looking in. All four of them are very just self-assured, confident in themselves, like don't really care about what they do, when other people like the impact or people saying things about them.
Yeah, hopefully they've learned to ignore the haters on
Yeah.
whatever online. There's always haters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw something the other day that, it said, don't worry about negative comments. Even the Grand Canyon gets negative comments, and it pulled up like half a dozen, it's not that grand, or
Yeah.
I'm not impressed with rocks. It's the Grand Canyon, people, and I've done the rim to rim hike through the Grand Canyon. It is spectacular. There's still detractors. You're always going to have detractors. The Grand Canyon doesn't worry about it, so girls, don't worry about it. Just move forward.
And how do you think you installed that confidence in them?
I don't know if there's anything specific. Their mother, I give lots of credit, most of the credit, majority of the credit to Shannon on raising these girls. I was working and, with Kiewit, long hours, even post Kiewit, on the development side. Once we acquired Dock Construction Group, very, very busy, but not so busy that I neglected my family. I was there, but, Shannon's the one there that's there all the time. But I don't know, maybe just encouraging them to go after whatever they wanted, not to quit, don't give up. Just trying to be positive and encourage them, even when they're getting some negatives, even from family members and things like, what in the world? You just, hey, figure it out. Keep going.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Amy, any questions that you had for your dad? Anything, or did anyone write anything in?
Oh, I didn't even look.
Okay.
I was just going to say, do you feel like because you're an entrepreneur, like that's what, like, or do you think it didn't matter like what you did, even if you worked like a corporate 9 to 5, like say you would have stayed with Kiewit instead of leaving and starting your own thing? Do you feel like you would have still had that mentality of like, you can go out and do anything? Or because you had already, like you already took the huge risk of starting your own business, leaving a company. What is that noise?
I don't know. What is it?
I can hear somebody like clicking or tapping or something.
Is it this chair?
I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know. Keep going.
Like, do you feel like that's because like you already had like taken the risk and it like was successful that you were like, yeah, I did it, so why can't you? Or do you feel like that's just like how your parents raised you?
I think we were probably raised with an entrepreneurial spirit. I didn't even learn that word until I don't know when, 2000s.
Oh.
But yeah, we started businesses like I mentioned, the lawn business, paper routes, and we painted houses in high school. We did all kinds of things to earn money. And so maybe that's where it came from a little bit. I haven't really thought about that, but then kind of starting other things, kind of a second career. You jump in, you work hard, and, a lot of times, sometimes it takes 20 plus years to become an overnight success, but you kind of embrace the grind, and you grind, and maybe while some others would have given up on a certain business or something, you just keep plowing through. I'm always been a glass half full or mostly full kind of person. Try to, look at the positives and how can we figure this out? How can we make it work?
Slay.
All right. Last little, I just want to do a little segment to end. I'm going to read. It's like a quick rapid fire. I'll say like, you'll see. And you're just going to answer with which daughter fits the question.
Zach, you're determined to get me in trouble.
No, these are easy. These won't be bad. These aren't bad. Who would you say is the most like you?
The most like me? Depends on in which way. I think each of the four have taken on different, certain traits from me, from Shannon, from each other, from four fabulous grandparents that set great examples and had high expectations. So I
Gotta give me
don't
one.
know.
I think
somebody-
I have my answer.
Somebody once said, I think a lot of people say Emily looks the most like me. That's not very nice to say about Emily. But then also there was some hater online that, like, for a while there was this thing going on online that Emily is an illegitimate love child.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
that is true. That's a rumor.
And
Wow.
and then, but at the same time, people would say she looks the most like me.
Yeah.
That's
So,
funny.
yeah, I don't know. I would say calm, cool, and collected Megan,
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
my Maggie dog, drama-free, mostly drama-free.
Mostly.
Her sisters drag her into some drama.
Hey,
They've successfully dragged you into some drama.
Yes,
Zach,
they have. Yes, they
this
have.
episode. So,
hmm
but overall, the most I don't know.
Yeah.
Move next.
Biggest warrior. Like worries about things.
oh, I thought you were talking about warrior, like gonna go to
Warrior.
battle
Biggest
for you.
Warrior.
Worrier.
Warrior. Not warrior.
Amy?
Oh, really?
Who would you say?
I don't know. I actually don't know about this one. But
Amy sometimes can kind of get a little bit, not paralyzed, but what if this happened? Well, what if it doesn't? Like,
It's true.
Try
He
to-
always tells me that. He's like,
does that
Yeah.
lead to the ghosting or to like the kind of pulling away from things? Amy?
yeah,
Okay.
like a detachment. It's like a defense mechanism almost.
kind of disengage, which not good. We've had lots of chats about that. You
Had
jump
lots
right
of
in.
lectures.
And what's the worst that could happen?
I agree.
And whatever it
It's
is.
true. It's
I
so
agree.
true, Michael.
And if you kind of consider what's the worst that could happen, then okay, it's got to be better than that, and it might be off the charts fabulous. You might get 100%.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's very true.
It's true. Most likely to call for your help.
Amy, and then Emily,
Yeah.
close.
That's,
And I don't remember if you talked about the call from Amy I got. Dad, I'm in jail. Come and bail me out.
So iconic.
I fell for that. I didn't panic, but said, well, all right, we'll figure it out.
Michael,
be there.
you did panic.
I didn't
You-
panic. I said, what in the H, why didn't you
Yeah.
pay your dang tickets? It serves you right. I don't blame them for arresting you. But then in my defense, like 6 months later, similar call from Amy. The first call, it somehow showed up on my phone, caller ID, Utah County Sheriff or incarceration or something. I fell for that, but later, call from Amy with the same cry voice, Dad, I'm pregnant. And I did not fall for that for even 1/10 of 1 second. I said, no, you're not. Quit messing with me.
Yeah, he was like, I'm in
Don't
a
give
meeting.
me that.
Don't call me again.
Yeah.
You want to know who did fall for that, though?
Shannon
is-
fell for it
Well, Shannon fell
for a little
it.
while.
And actually, Shannon was like, wait, really? Like, okay, like, we can totally do this.
Shannon was happy. We're at
Oh, yeah.
nine grandkids in holding. Let's
yeah.
get going, Zach.
But
Another year.
Megan fell for it, and that actually was the first time Megan had ever said the F word out loud.
No, she didn't.
No,
Yes,
she.
she
I was
did.
there.
Sweet Megan, I don't.
That was
Oh,
crazy.
Megan, stop.
That was her first time ever saying it, and
Yeah.
it's because of Amy. So
So Amy and Zach are both bad influences.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But yeah, that one was funny, and I think that actually said a lot about what Megan thought about you because she did believe it.
Well,
Yeah, and your mother believed it? Not,
Yeah.
Or
it wasn't so much about me. It's because
Shannon just came in.
I used the guy that I was like talking to at the time, and they know him, and they were like, "Yeah, I could see like him knocking you up." It was more so the guy.
Who I don't even remember who you were.
Well, we're not
hanging
going to name
or
names.
dating, but
we'll talk about it after.
You can tell me later.
But I will give it to Amy. She is a great actress.
I'm a great
She can pull it
actress.
off.
Has she pranked you, Zach?
I think she's tried. Maybe
I
once.
haven't pulled any pranks lately because one, I'm terrified of Shannon because she always says, if I prank you, I'm going to give you a heart attack. I don't want to give you another heart attack. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that I could do.
Well, and Amy came to work with me and for me right after the minor heart incident. Her job description from Shannon is to keep my blood pressure down and not add to the stress, but to take away the stress. And
we can hear Shannon whispering. What is she saying?
Doing a great job.
That's funny.
Can I say what, I won't name the tenant, but can I say what one of the tenants said? Like literally, this was like 2 days after Michael had his heart attack. We were in a design meeting. It's like this massive tenant of ours.
Yeah, they're in. You can say the tenant.
Yeah, they're locked in now. So we're in the meeting. We're designing their space plan. We're getting an update from all of like our subs and our contractors of if we're on time, what's the next schedule, like what's going in next. And the guy, he's like, "Oh, where's Mike?" And I'm like, "Oh, he actually had a heart attack, unfortunately. So like I'll kind of like be stepping in his place for the next couple weeks." And he looked me dead in my face and goes, "Well, this isn't going to affect the timeline, is it?"
Oh my gosh.
And mind you, they changed.
I'd forgotten about that. That's a different tenant than the one I was thinking of.
Oh, they changed their mind every 5 seconds. So the only people affecting the timeline was them.
Yeah.
And I
we
said,
didn't miss a beat. We never miss a schedule.
No,
or a budget.
In fact, we're always ahead of schedule. But I looked at him and I said, the timeline won't be affected unless you keep changing your mind.
You said that.
Man.
Wow. Good for you.
First of all, like, don't piss me off. And second of all, don't piss me off when it comes to Michael.
He just had a heart attack, and that's the first thing he said.
If you want to bring out warrior girls, who was it? Xena, the princess warrior, and Amy, come after me. And Amy's going to go to battle.
I'm very protective over Michael.
Sometimes too protective. You drive me crazy.
That's actually true. Perfect transition for my last two questions.
All right.
What is something about Amy people don't see?
Can I phone a friend, Shannon?
Michael! Come on, dig deep in those big feelings of yours.
Oh, I don't like feelings, especially.
These last two are a little more touchy-feely.
Oh, man. That's not my strong point. Get over the RBF. People need to see through that. I think it's a natural. It's not something she does intentionally, but it's not real. She's very sweet, very tender-hearted. Do anything for anybody. Which all three of her sisters, well, and me, and her mother. I don't think any of us would. Well, I mean, yeah, we'd survive, but wouldn't be maybe as thriving mentally. Or Amy, you bail out your sisters constantly. You're Rachel's emotional support animal or sister.
Blanket. We call it blanket.
Emotional support blanket since she lost Teresa.
Yeah, it's true.
So, yeah, Amy bails us out of lots of jams. I get jammed up and, hey, I got to have you go handle this meeting or handle whatever it is. So, and she'll jump in and help.
I would agree. I feel like Amy's kind of the glue of everything.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, glue for the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has a great relationship with all three of her brother-in-laws, and I think she and Megan both can be pretty good mediators when
Yeah.
when there's some drama blowing up.
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
speaking of,
bring the peace.
we got to
No.
talk about the fight because people really want to know about
No,
the fight.
we don't speak. That's in the circle. In the what is it?
Yep.
The
The
circle of
family
trust.
vault.
Yeah.
Yep. We just know they made up. That's all that matters. Right?
Okay.
Last question. What do you hope your daughters would say about you?
At my funeral?
No.
No.
Just right now.
No.
Right now.
I don't know.
And Amy, you have to answer that too. What you have to say something nice.
Well, how much time do we have? I could sit here for hours.
You got 2 minutes after.
Okay, I got to go first, but so that I would hope all four would say, "Hey, my dad loved us all, loved me, supported me, and was a big cheerleader, and wasn't too tough on him." I try to be tough, and at the
Michael,
end of the day, I'm a wimp.
when it comes to your family, you're not tough. We can hear Shannon whispering. What is she saying?
What did you say?
I said you're a softie, not a wimp.
Softy. All right, that's a better word. Softy.
Yeah, when it comes to his family, unless you do something to make any of us mad or to hurt us, then that's when the claws come out with Michael.
Yeah.
Look out.
Then he says, "You're dead wrong." That's my favorite Michael quote. "You're dead wrong."
Yeah, that's a rare occurrence.
Or the grandkids. Don't
Yeah,
Do not mess with those
diss
grandkids.
my grandkids.
that's
Don't-
for sure.
Not pass the basketball to the bear or to Cannon
Or Gray.
or the gray, especially. Yeah, not. I shouldn't say especially. Don't not pass the ball to the baller.
That's right.
That's gray baller. And then we got the bear. We got Cannon.
Can
And
you
then
hoop?
we got young 40 just starting to play some soccer and football. No basketball yet. Then we're gonna have Deanie and Wessie
Yep,
coming up. They're golfers and fishermen.
that's right.
And
right now.
soccer. Dean's playing some soccer, so there's a lot more athletic sporting events as a grandpapa. And growing up, the girls growing up, it was mostly dance, a little bit of soccer and volleyball for Amy, which was a great change. But the best thing Shannon, we can pick and choose what we go to. As a father, man, you better make every effort to be present for
It's true.
just about everything. But as a grandfather,
Michael, you're there for
grandparent,
everything. You're
we-
at every game.
we
That
go
is
to a
true.
lot, but not everything. Well, last Saturday I hit 7.
That's crazy.
7
That's a lot.
between basketball, flag football. I don't think it's a blur. That's why it's all a blur. But I don't think there was any soccer last week. There will probably be soccer this Saturday.
It's a lot.
So,
All right, Amy,
Amy,
end us. Give us your
Michael.
thoughts on your dad.
Thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. Do you
against my
have-
will, but I survived.
Do you have a quote, a favorite Michael-ism, if you will, to end the podcast with? Come on, give us a quote. Look in your notes.
I had to start keeping notes. I don't even remember where it's at. It's probably down.
Michael, we got to bring back quotes
Just-
by Michael. The people cry
Okay.
out for quotes by Michael.
I do love the quotes by Michael.
If you go running with me, then
Me?
we'll bring it back.
I don't like running.
She'll trot on the horse next to you as you're running.
Yeah, me and Brazil will go running with you on the trails.
I don't know. I've just looking at the start of the notes. I've used a lot of these. Oh, here's one I like. It's the Mariners rule. Do you know what a mariner is? Like the
baseball players.
like a ship, captain of
Oh.
the ship.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Mariners rule. The captain is always right, and I'm the captain.
Classic.
That's a
Don't
good
doubt
That's
me.
a classic Michael. You know what other quote is classic Michael?
What
Expect problems and eat them for dinner.
for breakfast?
Breakfast, sorry.
Yep.
Oh, misquoted.
There's one. Are you going to curse the darkness or light a candle?
So good.
That's a good one.
We spend too much time putting conditions on unconditional love.
Aw, that's cute.
great
I've
one.
never heard that one
haven't?
before. No.
Quote.
One more. The hardest thing in life is not rising to battle, but rising with no battle to fight. You always got to have a purpose. You got to have a battle.
I love it,
I like
Michael.
that one. It's good. Amy?
All right. Well, thank you so much, Michael, for coming on Legally Friends. And thank you for ending us
You're
with
welcome, I
those
think.
amazing quotes. I'm sure the people will cry out for you to come back on. So listen for our call. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Please leave us a review and subscribe, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, podcast people.
Okay, wait, don't, Michael, don't leave.
Legally friends, you're